In this video, we will be doing data recovery for a 4 terabyte Seagate external hard drive that has a broken USB connector, a ripped USB connector from the controller board. Now, this external drive comes with 2 times 2 terabyte hard drives inside. They're both seated inside the enclosure, as you can see. Both of these drives are connected to a controller board that has 2 SATA connections on it. So it connects like this, and on this side of the controller we have the USB connector, which connects to the cable that goes to the computer. Now this connector is what's ripped off the board. I tried to find this board online. I was not able to find any place that sell these boards. So I looked into buying an enclosure like this, and I was not able to find one either. The only other option would be to buy the same exact drive and steal the controller from that other drive and put it on here for the sake of data recovery. I was not able to find an external drive with the same model number either. We can possibly use a software that could read both drives in RAID 0, but we can risk losing some data because the controller has its own unique way of reading data of these 2 drives that's connected in RAID 0. Our only option right now is to solder back this connector and run some wires from the ripped pads that's on the board to the nearby components that they connect to. Let me show you what I mean. This is where the USB connector connects to. And this is our USB connector. As you can see, we have five pins on the left that needs to be soldered, and we have 5 pins on the right. Now if you notice, we have missing pads on the board, which means we cannot solder the connector onto those pads because the pads are ripped off. This one here, the pad is ripped off. We have this one, this, and this. Now we do not have a schematic diagram or a PC board layout and see where those pads are going to, but by looking at the board we can tell that this pad is running all the way up to this pin. This pad up to this pin. It doesn't look like this pad is going anywhere. And we have this pad which is going to somewhere on the back of the board. So we're gonna solder the connector to this pin and these 4 pins. And then what we're gonna have to do is run a wire from the pin of the connector up to this point here. We can scratch this so we can see the copper. So by doing this, we can run the wire from here until here. We run a wire from here until here. And we run a wire from here up to here. And finally, we're gonna have to run a wire from here to somewhere on this wire here. Point. Hey man, how are you?
Man, yeah, it's fully charged. I thought the battery had died. But I charged it all night and nothing.
All right.
And then
Just give me 1 second. NorthridgeFix. Before I put the connector on, I'm gonna have to run the wire from this pad onto this capacitor. That's where the wire is going. That's good. And we want to test the continuity between this point and the chip to make sure that it's reaching its destination. So this is going all the way up to right over here. Okay, that's good. What about this one? And that's good also. I just removed the torn pads that's still connected on the connector. we're gonna have to straighten those pins. Let's start with the first 4 pins here. So this capacitor here, I want to know if it's connected to this point over here. And it is. That's very good. Point. Do we have a connection? This point, we're gonna follow the wire, follow the wire, follow the wire up to this point. And we do have a connection. We have 2 more wires to put. I do not want it touching any pins on the board. I can't tell you how tiny this wire is. You can only see it under a microscope. Just want to make sure that this pin is not touching the other one. So this should not be touching this. It's not. Does it go all the way here? Yes. We have one more pad to fix. One more. So we're gonna connect the wire from here to here. We can just put a solder blob if that will make a connection. Let's try and see. Maybe not. Looks like the connection has been made. Test. So this pin should be connected. So, did all that work go for nothing? Let's find out. I would hate to have done all that work with no results. But we have to be optimistic. You know what, let me switch screens so you can see what's going on. We're gonna plug the drive in. Number one, the light turns on, which is good. The drives are spinning, which is excellent. So the light is on, the drives are spinning. Do we have anything on the screen? No drive detection. Let's go to disk management. Does the computer see the drive? It does not. All right, so what's our next step? I think what I'm going to do is try to flip the drives, put the bottom one on top and the top one on the bottom, and see if that helps. I do not know how this controller board is reading from the drives. I do not know if they have to be in any specific order, but we're gonna try and see. So this one is going to go on top instead of being on the bottom. And this one is going to go on the bottom. Okay. So the computer is making that beep sound when you plug in the drive. Somehow it knows that the drive is plugged in, but it's not seeing the drive. I do not see any 4 terabyte drive. Okay, you know what? This could be a Mac hard drive. Let me grab a MacBook and try it on a MacBook. Okay, drive is spinning, the light is on. Oh, right there. Ho ho ho. Wow. Double click on it. Do we see any files? Right there. So our problem is solved. Let me switch camera angle so I can show you this better. Okay, so this is the drive. Let me see if the computer is seeing a full 4 terabyte drive as it should. Yeah, right there. 4 terabyte drive. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you again in the next one.